I'm Mark Scheidler, chair of the CMTA's Therapy Expert Advisory Board. And today I have with me Jae-Young Lee. He's the director of R&D Therapeutics Business Development at ToolGen, a biotech company based in Seoul, South Korea, and a Star Alliance partner. Jay, I'm delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you, Mark, and it's been a pleasure having me at the CMTA meeting and interview, and I look forward to today's session.
Yeah, could you start by telling us about the approach ToolGen is taking to develop therapeutics?
Yes, sure. So ToolGen is established based on what is called genetic engineering. So basically, tool for genetic engineering, that's where our name came from, ToolGen. And we mainly utilize versatile gene editing technology called CRISPR-Cas9 to precisely correct the genetic defects or insert beneficial gene of interest to fix the diseases.
And how did you become interested in CMT as a target indication for drug development?
Yeah, so during my PhD studies, I was heavily involved in developing novel therapeutic strategy for multiple sclerosis, which is a disorder involved in demyelination in the central nervous system. And from then, I was very much interested in myelin disorders. And of course, CMT is one of the myelin disorder in the peripheral nervous system. And as CRISPR-Cas9 can directly target the root cause of the genetic disease, which is the genetic defects, ever since I joined ToolGen, I started to design the therapeutic gene editing strategy to target CMT. And from then, this is where I'm at.
And you've landed at really working on CMT1A as not particular opportunity, because the whole idea simply is to remove an overactivity of the disease gene. Is that right?
Yes, correct. So you're very much correct. And there are, of course, many types of CMT. And at the moment, we are focusing on type 1A, which is caused by genetic defects having extra copy of PMP22 gene. And our strategy is to dampening down the expression level of PMP22 to close to the normal level. And at this moment, we cannot say whether it will stop the progression or reverse related symptoms, but we are at least aiming to slow down the disease progression.
So that is really your target goal in terms of looking at the benefits somebody with CMT1A might expect to have with this therapy.
Yes, yes. And of course, as I mentioned, CRISPR-Cas9 can target the genetic defects upon validating our therapeutic strategy at the type 1A. We can, of course, try to expand to whole diverse spectrum of the CMT.
No, that's very exciting. And if we get some progress with your first 1A project, what you're saying is you're committed as a company to actually exploring other forms of CMT with this gene editing approach.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so which group of people with CMT could be best treated by this approach?
Well, our gene editing therapeutic candidate is being developed for adult, both male and female, with advanced symptoms for now. Upon validation of therapeutic effects in this group, first and foremost, theoretically target population can expand to young pediatric CMT1A patients as well. And one of the actual main advantage of our gene editing therapeutic candidates is that patients only need to be treated once for long-term therapeutic effect. Of course, we will need to test and verify this in clinic, but our gene editing therapeutic candidate can exert very long-term therapeutic effect, at least in the animal models.
Oh, that's very exciting, I think, for people to hear that you're looking at what you think might be a one and done strategy for a
Yes.
treatment. So everybody in the CMT community is eager for new treatments. Can you please give us an idea of the sort of timelines you're working with to get a therapy to patients?
Yes, sure. We are trying our best to aiming for submission of the investigation of new drug applications by the late next year or early 2023. And then we'll have to go through phase 1/2 and phase 3 clinical trials to get the actual therapies to the patients.
So that's essentially submitting an application to the FDA to
Yes.
be able to put your treatment into patients, starting with human clinical trials.
Yes, that's correct.
So that also suggests that you want to start this work in the United States?
We are hoping to, because we have we believe one of the best foundation and association related to CMT, which is you guys, CMTA, is based in US, and you have the expert advisory pool, and there are many patient community that I can hear a lot from them to develop better therapeutic strategy. So, which is why we believe starting clinical trial in US, it will be the best option for us.
Excellent. I think everybody in the CMTA US community will be quite excited to hear that. How did you decide to partner with the CMTA?
Yes, yeah, like I said, CMTA, I think it is the largest CMT association in the world. And of course, CMTA, like I said before, has a STAR advisory board specialized in CMT research, translation, and clinical studies, who can actually be very, very much helpful to for successful therapeutic development. And furthermore, associated patient community will be also very helpful to understand and actually realize actual unmet medical needs in patients' point of view to develop better therapeutics. And working with CMTA, of course, has been very beneficial for us. And I really look forward to further collaborating with you guys.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear that you value the CMTA's organization as regards helping to plan and execute testing in humans and accessing the patient advocacy to help you move to getting an approval in patients. So thank you very much for spending a few minutes telling us about your approach and your progress and your future plans. The CMT community is very interested to hear about new approaches to develop CMT treatments. So again, thank you for taking a few minutes. I think a lot of people in the community will be watching the video and gain from it a better understanding of how you're entering the arena, so to speak, to help them out in dealing with the consequences of the CMT that they have.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed interview with you, and I'll try my best to develop actual therapy for patient community.
Okay, very good.